Hello everyone, Professor. My name is Roshan. As you guys can see behind me, it's Walgreens. That's the company that I chose to do the Go See It project for. I also do work here. It's been around two and a half years. Without a further ado, the assistant manager is waiting, so let's go do the interview. Thanks for joining us here at Walgreens offices at the Naperville location. And I'm here with Mr. Michael Abraham. He's the guy that I'm interviewing. Thanks for being here, Mike.
Yeah, happy to do it.
So I'm going to start out with some basic few questions. So what is your position at the store?
I am the assistant store manager.
Perfect. Awesome. And how long have you been with the company?
Oh boy, since 2005,
right.
so 11 years. Yeah.
Yeah, 11 years. Awesome. And is the Walgreens privately or publicly owned?
Privately.
What is Walgreens? Can you give us like a basic description of what it is? I know everybody knows what it is, but
Walgreens is a retail pharmacy by definition. You know, just kind of like a big one-stop shop for everything.
Got it. And I'm actually an employee here. This is my third year actually, and that's one of the reasons I chose the company for this interview. Great people, as you can see, good environment to work for, and obviously I've been here 3 years, so that's one of the reasons I chose the question. Now on to the main topic that I chose, which was on Chapter 7, Cash Receipts. As we learned in class, we learned different topics, and I'm going to go into some of the main kind of questions. So, who handles the cash registers at the beginning of the day, before the store opens, and what is the procedure of balancing the drawer?
It's a member of management. They come on in, and we count all the drawers, we count out the safe, make sure everything balances. You know, we have set amounts that every terminal should be at, what the safe should be at, and if that doesn't match up, we have to investigate further as to why it wouldn't.
Got it. And is the cash register that's being used throughout the day, can only one person use it, or can multiple people use it?
We try to stick to having only one person use it. Sometimes another employee will have to use it. Usually the only time we have to investigate in terms of not allowing multiple people to use it is if there is like a shortage or there is continued cash handling errors. Then we investigate it, and then we become more strict in terms of only allowing one person on the register. We do this because we try to help our customers as easy as we can, and sometimes it's easier just to allow multiple people to use the same drawer.
So that touches bases with the part of establishment of responsibility as we learned in class, and how each employee has their own part to do in their job. So who records the cash transaction in the journal and posts it to the general ledger? So like, they talk to the bank, communication, who has that priority doing it?
So we have our own system here at Walgreens that keeps track of all the transactions that go on. That includes cash, credit, debits, FSA, any kind of transaction is all recorded automatically by the system. That is all sent to our corporate office, and they're the ones who communicate with the bank then. In terms of cash that needs to get sent out from the store physically, we take care of that and we send that off to the bank. But those numbers are still recorded into our corporate system.
So it's basically manager that has the main priority of doing that, sending it to the corporate offices. They're the one. So then, leading on to the next question, what is the policy or procedure on detecting errors, thefts, cash? What are some protocols?
We have a report that we have to go through every single day, every morning, that will go over, here is what your expected amount is from the previous day in terms of cash, credit, all of those. This is what was actually recorded in the system. We don't get those numbers until the next morning. If those numbers don't match up, then we go into further investigation as to why they don't.
And so that kind of sees with the segregation of duties and what each employee has and their different responsibilities. So most customers receive cash receipts, right? Or receipts after a purchase.
Yes.
So do the cash receipts correspond to the deposit of the cash at the end of the day when you guys found out? Do they correspond with each other, or?
If it's cash receipts, yes. Even if it's somebody getting a return, so we would have to be give cash back to them, that would still be recorded in their cash receipts. And again, that would all go back into our system that puts it all into a report for us each day.
Okay, so most customers do receive it. And then how do the deposits of cash get transferred to the bank?
We have an armored car service.
And if the deposit of cash does not balance, or the deposit is somehow lost, when investigating, do the business like Walgreens, do they look back at cash receipts? Do they go back to them, or?
First thing that they'll go back to is that report that gets generated each day to find out what the cash balance was that should have been deposited to the bank. That way we know how much we need to try and either, if it's the armored car service that lost it, get it back from them. But that is how we would go back to figure out exactly how much of that amount was supposed to be.
So all these processes that relate to, as we learned in class, documenting procedures. So like cash registers, safes, they're all locked. Only certain employees have access to them, right?
Correct.
All right. And so what are some security measures the store has that prevents unauthorized events from happening? Assurance from customers, employees, all that kind of good stuff.
We have multiple locked exits beyond just our regular front door entrance that only managers have the keys to. There's also a seal on those doors so that we can keep track of when a seal is taken off, so we know exactly when and what purpose that door was open for. Beyond just the locks on doors, we have security panels on certain doors, like to the office, to the pharmacy, to different rooms in the store. Beyond that, we have a pretty elaborate security camera system.
Okay. And you guys always review that if something goes wrong. That's
Correct.
something to look back at.
Yes.
So that shows all the measures and users related to physical controls and internal controls that we learned in Chapter 7. And I do have my badge here. That is another way of getting in like an employee. You need to have that. It shows my name, what my role is, how long I've been here. And we need to wear that as an identification, who we are, what we're doing here, and all that kind of stuff. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for being here and letting me interview you.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
If you guys see him at the Naperville locations, give him a shout out, or need a job, I don't know. Whatever you need to do. All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.